Hi guys, oh okay, I messed up my intro. I'm very sorry about that, but I'm not about to re-record it. But hello everybody, I can't remember my intro now. It's SugarPlumSimss here, and welcome back to another speed build. So this speed build is for Pineapple's contest. She recently hit 1,000 subscribers, so congrats to her and all that, and her channel is really amazing, so definitely check it out if you have some time and go subscribe to her and all that, because I don't know, I really love her speed builds. I didn't really find out. I did find her, but I found her through Simlissy, and I think I mentioned this all in my last video, and I think I also mentioned I was doing this build contest in that video as well. I can't remember, to be honest, but I had a lot of fun building this, and this is for Pineapple's build contest challenge thing. So basically we start with like a blueprint type thing. Well, basically the blueprint is just the foundation, and then you build off of that without making any changes to the original foundation, and you can't build outside of the foundation. So I had a lot of fun with that challenge, and I don't know, I'm definitely into sort of the whole, I don't know, the Rory build challenges and these type of challenge type things, contests. Like I did Devon Bumpkins, and now I'm doing Pineapples, and I also usually do Rory's, which reminds me I need to make a start on it, because not gonna lie, I haven't actually started on it, which is really bad of me, because I did say that from my last Rory build challenge that I would like try and get it done quicker, because I basically left it to like the last day possible. So yeah, that wasn't very good. But anyway, so this build is probably one of my favorite builds I've done, to be honest. So I had a lot of fun building this. I also had a lot of fun with the interior furnishing, because the color scheme was like really fun to work with, and I don't know, the color scheme kind of just came from the exterior, I think, because I did some like mint green paneling on the exterior, and then I sort of brought that into the interior, and then I incorporated all like the teal and blues and greens and all that, which I think all work really nice together. So I'm very pleased with that. And also ignore that little bit of the roof that I did there at the front, where it's kind of like lots of different roofs. I actually kind of like how that looks, but at the same time, I don't know, I thought that it didn't really work very well, or at least it didn't work because I was trying to make sort of the entrance, which is on the side of the house, look good, and I couldn't really do that with the roofs, so I had to change that in the end. And I mean, it still kind of does look good, but I just thought it was too many roofs, and I don't know, I don't really like too many roofs in my builds. But I mean, there are a lot of roofs in this build. So basically, this house has, now I'm trying to think of how many bedrooms it has. So I think it has 3 bedrooms? Okay, this is bad. I think it either has 2 or 3 bedrooms, and I know, oh wait, I think it has 3 bedrooms. No, it has 2, sorry. I keep changing my mind, but it has 2 bedrooms, and each of those bedrooms has an ensuite, I think. Actually, no, one of the bedrooms has an ensuite, and then the second bedroom doesn't, but there's like a main bathroom for everyone to use. So yeah, sorry about the confusion, but I'm glad we cleared that up. And it's very modern, as you can probably tell from the exterior, and I didn't really limit myself with any game packs, because that was part of the rules. You didn't have to limit yourself. And what were the other rules? You couldn't obviously build outside of the foundation, and you also couldn't, was there another rule like that you couldn't do something? You had to upload it with the right hashtag, which I did all that, and you could use any stuff packs or game packs or anything. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention that the winner for this build, so basically for this contest there's 2 winners. There's a randomized winner, because she wanted to do it kind of like a giveaway type style of thing. Okay, I'm not describing any of this very well, but basically she has a random winner and then her favourite winner for like her favourite build. And I mean, obviously I'm hoping I win and everything because I'm totally gonna win. I'm just joking. I mean, I probably have like an equal chance to everyone else at winning. And even if I don't win for like the favourite build, I have the chance of winning for like the randomised build. So, you know, I have like 2 chances out of however many entries there are, because I don't know, when I last checked I think there were probably over like 20 entries, although I haven't checked since, so maybe I should size up my competition and all that. I'm just doing this like for fun of it, and I mean there is the stuff back, but I also just kind of wanted to give this my attempt because it looked like a fun blueprint to work with. And I also quite like the hedges I did at the front of the house. They are like just, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm stuttering my words. Basically, I went out not so long ago, about 20 minutes ago, and I still haven't fully relaxed because whenever I come home from sort of going out, I guess, I always am never like relaxed and I keep stuttering my words. And that, to be honest, happens with me whenever I'm doing something that requires more like activeness, and then I come to do these voiceovers and I'm terrible at doing them, so I do apologise for that. But whatever videos, I actually think that I have a few other videos planned. Do I now? I say that and then I think about it and I actually don't think I have that many videos planned. Basically, I think I have Rory's build challenge that I need to build, and then I also have this build which is in 2 parts. Actually, I didn't mention that. Basically, I already tried to record this voiceover, but because I was so stuttery and quick and I felt like I was going to run out of things to say very quickly, I decided to restart. So I always get confused about what I've already said in this voiceover and what I said in the last deleted voiceover, which is very confusing. But anyway, now I've forgotten what I was going to say, and that's very annoying. Oh yeah, so basically this video, or this speed build rather, is split into 2 parts because it was too long to fit into 1 part, and it was kind of short to fit into 2 parts, but then I realised that because I had already sort of sped it up quite a bit in the single part, I thought it could do with being split up into 2 parts. And I also did a poll on Twitter, and pretty much everyone wanted it to be edited down, so I decided instead of editing it down, I would just split it into 2 parts because I forgot to include the 2 parts as an option in the poll. Although that's another thing to mention. So basically, if you ever want to sort of participate in sort of the decision making of my channel, I guess, then do follow my Twitter because I do put out polls every so often, and those polls might include things like upcoming videos and sort of just builds to work on and all that, so definitely go check my Twitter out if you'd like. I will link it down below. I pretty much always have my social media links down below, as well as my Tumblr for any CC that I use that you might want to also use, so yeah, that's just something to bear in mind. And whatever video, so I have Rory's build challenge, as I think I've just mentioned, and I have this part 2 build that I also need to record the voiceover for. Sorry, my voice is going slightly weird, even though it wasn't earlier. It just, whenever I go to record a voiceover, it always goes really weird and kind of croaky, and it's very annoying. So what other builds do I have? I also have a tiny home that I was meant to finish off ages ago because I did a poll on Twitter again, and I should have finished it ages ago, and then I never got around to it, which is bad because the poll was quite a while ago and I need to work on that. And then I don't think there is anything else really at the moment. If you ever have any suggestions, feel free to leave them down in the comments below, as I read every single one of your comments and I pretty much always reply, unless it's a comment I don't think I need to reply to. Yeah, just like if they don't actually say anything that I need to reply to. Yeah, you probably get what I mean. Sorry, I'm slurring my words a little bit. So yeah, if you have any suggestions, just feel free to leave them down in the comments below, and I will always read through them, and I usually take your suggestions. Sometimes I don't because I either forget or I don't have time, but either way I will try to complete all of them eventually, I guess, probably. So also something I wanted to quickly mention is on the second floor you can kind of see that there are a few parts of the build that are kind of going outside of the foundation a little bit by like one tile, and I did actually tweet to Pineapple to ask if this was allowed, and she said it was allowed. So before any of you sort of comment at me saying, oh, you cheated, blah blah blah, you know, all that, I did actually ask, and I do have her permission to do that, and it is allowed. So that's also something to if any of you were wondering that, if you're like gonna enter this competition as well, just thought I'd mention that as well. And I am also using the stone texture from the bowling pack, which I really love. It's like one of my favourite new stone textures, because I really like the one that came with Get Together, but at the same time I don't really like the little bar that's at the very bottom, because it makes sort of, I prefer just like a continuing stone texture as opposed to it being sort of just like if it's basically continuing the stone texture across 2 floor levels. Yeah, I didn't exactly explain that very well, but hopefully you understood what I meant to say. And I did just take a quick break just then because my fan was going crazy, and I feel like I say this in every video, but I do have to take like pauses when I do voiceovers, otherwise you just won't be able to hear me. So anyway, where were we? I've completely forgotten what I was talking about, so we're just going to skip that. And in this part, I'm pretty sure I already mentioned, did I or not? I can't remember, but like we don't furnish the upstairs, we only furnish the downstairs, and I try to keep every bedroom to have like a bright pop of colour, because I really love that and I think it works really well. And the downstairs, it definitely has more like a blue and black theme, I guess, and then I sort of just go with whatever colours I want for the upstairs, although I guess I will talk more about that when we actually get into furnishing the upstairs in the next part. And also I haven't really been uploading many videos recently. Again, I feel like I mention this in every video. I think my last upload was like a week ago, which is quite a while ago. I don't know. When I went into YouTube, I was actually going to only do like 1 upload a week. But then I decided that, I don't know, I didn't really want to just stick to 1 upload a week because I had so many more video ideas. But I don't know, at the moment I'm just not that good, or like I'm just not at my happiest point, so it is harder for me to record voiceovers and stuff, and especially since I don't really have much to say, since I don't really get around to doing much. So it's just a lot harder for me to record voiceovers, and so like if you ever think I get a bit boring or something, it's just because I've run out of things to say. But yeah, actually my sister's boyfriend came round yesterday for the first time. Well, not yesterday, the day before that, because I haven't met him yet, and she brought him round to stay over, and yeah, he's pretty good and he's quite nice and stuff. And I don't really know why I'm telling you all this, because I'm pretty sure none of you actually care, but I was just kind of a little nervous about it because I'm not the best with guys, just saying. I think I was talking about this with Katie yesterday about how I'm just really awkward around boys, and I was very awkward around her boyfriend, but you know, hopefully I get a bit better with that over time, I guess, probably. Probably not. So this is the living room, as you can clearly see, and I was going to use like the orange coffee table, like the orange and blue, but I just thought that I didn't really like the orange, or at least it just didn't really suit the rest of the house or the look I was going for, so I went with like the black and white, and then I had some pops of blue in there, and I think that works quite well. And I also use that zebra rug, which if you're in America, you probably pronounce it zebra, but I prefer to pronounce it zebra because, well, I'm British and that's what British people do. So that rug I don't often use because I feel like it's a little bit more on the tacky side. Although I think it works quite well in this build and it doesn't really end up looking very tacky. And this is the kitchen, which I actually love, and I would so want to have a kitchen like this. Actually, I would probably want to live in this house anyway, but just the kitchen in particular is really nice, or at least in my opinion it is. And I just thought it was quite nice, and the layout works pretty well as well. Pretty good as well. Yeah, I've messed that up. And I do this thing with the oven where it's kind of like on this wall section, which I think works quite well as well because I've never done anything like that really, and I wanted to try something like it, and I think it works pretty well. And I keep saying pretty well, but I'm pretty sure that you meant to say pretty good. I don't know, I'm not the best at grammar today. So there isn't actually a lot of counter space in this kitchen, but I don't think it really needs it. I mean, you have the 2 counters beside the oven and one beside the fridge on the other side. No, not beside the fridge, I meant beside the sink on the other side, but I mean, it isn't a huge amount of counter space. But to be honest, you don't really actually need much counter space in The Sims. You only need like 1 counter space, unless you're basically baking for an army or something, you know. So I also think I add in a rug. Do I? No, I actually don't think I don't, but I do add in a little plant from Backyard Stuff. And I have really been loving the Backyard Stuff pack and the Kids Room Stuff pack. And being completely honest, I haven't really used the Vampire pack much, but I do really like the floor tiles that I used in this build, which I think work pretty well. Pretty good, pretty well, still not sure. And I'm actually trying to think of if there was anything else I wanted to mention, like, in my life, which, I mean, there's not much. What have I been watching actually recently? Because I'm always kind of curious about what other people watch on, like, say, Netflix. And I did actually do, like, a tag thing on Twitter because I was tagged by, who was it? I mean, it could have been Simply Katie. I really can't remember because it was a while ago. But it basically was to post your 3 most watched shows on Netflix. Mine were Rain, Pretty Little Liars and Call the Midwife, and I can say that I am nearly finished with Pretty Little Lies. I only have like a season left to catch up because, wow, it took me a while to get that. And not gonna lie, some of the episodes are a bit boring because, I don't know, it's really repetitive, just the way the story goes. And I mean, some of you might disagree, but I mean, just to be honest, I think it's kind of picked up a bit better now that I'm on season 7. Although, like, the Dollhouse season was pretty good, or at least those episodes. And I won't spoil anything because obviously anyone who hasn't watched it yet won't know what I'm talking about. But those were pretty good episodes. And what other episodes? Actually, I'm not going to say what other episodes because that's basically going to spoil it. But I've also been watching Call the Midwife, which is sort of like my favourite relaxing type program, I guess, where I don't really need to pay attention too much, but it is a really nice series, and I do actually cry like every episode, not gonna lie, because I'm just emotional, you know. I'm an empathetic person, which I think is the right term. If someone's crying or if someone's really emotional, I will begin to cry and stuff, which is really annoying, especially when I'm trying to comfort someone and they're crying and then I just end up crying too, you know. That's me, basically. But I'm also watching Rain, which is my, like, #1 favourite series ever, and I watch that every week when the episodes come out, and it's kind of like whenever I see a new episode on Netflix, I'm like, ooh, yay, my favourite series is out again, or my favourite episode type series thing. I don't know what I'm saying. But that's really good to watch, and I would definitely recommend it, although not to younger viewers. I think I'm 14 and I'm nearly 15, but I started watching it about like a year ago, so I think probably like if you're 13 or older, although saying that I wouldn't recommend it to my younger sister who's like 12, I think, nearly 13, so yeah, maybe like 14. That's probably a good age to watch it. But yeah, it is really good, and I'm trying to get my dad to watch it at the moment because, I mean, he says he's interested in it and he might watch it, but he just has a lot of series he watches. And I have actually been working on like catching up on all my ongoing Netflix series because I feel like I'm slightly OCD, and insane, like, I'm not saying that because if like a pencil's out of place I'll get really upset, but like, I really like things to look neat, even though I'm not a neat person at all. But like my computer files, I really need to look neat and tidy, and also on my Netflix, I don't like it when I have a lot of sort of ongoing series because it just looks a bit untidy, and I know I'm not going to be able to watch all of them. So I don't know if that's OCD, it probably isn't, but it's just like something that I tend to sort of be like, I guess. It's mainly around things on my computer though. I just like my computer to be neat and tidy and all that, since I'm not really a neat and tidy person in real life. And as you can see, I was doing this really weird thing with the door, which we get rid of in the end, so I don't know why I kept it in, but I was just trying to make it, at first I was trying to make it look like the doors were slightly open, and then I was trying to make it look like it was a sliding glass door, and then I gave up on that because it just wasn't working, but I might still use that in another build. I mean, I used it in my real life house where the door was kind of half open, which I think looks pretty good, but it's just kind of hard to work with in doing like in-house build and stuff. But yeah, and we did start a little bit on the upstairs, just adding a couple paintings in and stuff, I think, and then I don't think we really do much. I think we sort of fiddle around with the layout and everything. And we do have to change some of the layout where this bathroom is, because I realised I need a bathroom for everyone, not just 2 ensuites, because that wouldn't make much sense. And then we just placed down a rug, and I think that's pretty much the end of this part, although the next part I'll probably get around to uploading the day after this goes out. So I don't like to leave them too long. I usually, actually, when I've made part videos before, I usually like upload them the same day, although today I think I might just upload this the day after this part goes out, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So anyway, I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, give this a big thumbs up, and also subscribe if you're new, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see the next part out tomorrow. So bye. That was a really weird bye, sorry.
And I didn't understand that you